Oh, that's why.
Now we're live.
Hello.
Hello, Super Scotch Gods.
Super Scotch Gods.
I'm sure everybody watching knows this, but we need to do this more often, don't we, Bart?
Yeah, we do. We like it. And look at that. We got a crowd in here.
I know. Everybody's already tuning in.
So you already, apparently you're with the dummy, number one.
I am with the dummy.
Somebody who's had a slight chill today. So as you noted, I have 3 shirts on, basically.
I did see that. How come I got a T-shirt and you got 3?
I don't know. I'm going with a layered look. This is actually more of like a fleece zip up.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a bit of the chill. Maybe it's the basement. Obviously, there's no heat on. We've been in between that warm, cool kind of thing. So,
but we're going to take a look at Ardbeg Grooves. We're going to let our Patreon supporters be the first with us. Bart already took a small sip. I have not. Mine's been poured in my glass.
I was prepping this right before we went live. We are literally going to be filming our the Pete Strikes Back, and I was pouring the samples tomorrow. Yep. But I've got it all set. I've got all the blind samples ready for Scott to then go in and change and add his little numbers to them. And I had a little bit here, and I was like, let me just try a sip.
You couldn't wait, could you?
Couldn't wait. I could smell it. And it beckoned. It was groovy. So, but I literally just took one tiny little sip. So look at this. They've got this little groovy tag here. And then it kind of matches what's going on here.
So this is, fact is, Claire came through for us on this. We wanted to get it. It hit the shelves soon enough, and I thought, well, we can have that for the second 16 bottle shootout, which we've coined the Pete Strikes Back.
Boom.
And Claire was able to help us out.
Yes, yeah. There's a whole groovy little pamphlet thing going on here with all this. So now I'm just guessing. But was Claire wanting like a manga shirt in exchange, or what was going on there?
I think he said board game. He wants some board games.
He was like, I just want some board game instruction from the chief. That's what he wanted. Chief is my board game world nickname, the Chief. I can't get Scott to call me the Chief. It's more like the goober.
Yeah, well, I don't know you as the Chief. So
no, you don't. You don't.
Actually, Tom R brought up. I got a movie quote back up here, and that was right before we went live. I saw Tom R said he hopes the movie quote is from Austin Powers. So I had to throw one up there real quick.
Wow. Very nice.
Probably because of Groovy.
Groovy.
Ardbeg Groovy.
I should have had some chest hair emanating. It's coming out. That would have been good.
So we got Ardbeg Grooves, Bart. What are we going to do?
We're going to test it.
Let's test it.
Yeah.
I'm warming up with a little Glenlivet Nadura peated cask. I thought that was a nice, sweet, mellow peat to warm up with. Warm the palate up with.
Now, there's a couple things going on. First of all, we're going to do that opening for the Pete Strikes Back. We weren't doing that. Some people were missing the test it thing. So we're going to make sure we get that in tomorrow. Now, you're using 2 different glasses. I've got this Riedel Cognac, but what do you got going on?
Well, my warm-up is in the Riedel single malt glass, but we just got to try from Tuath. It's an actual Irish whiskey glass company. And these are available at CelticWhiskeyDublin.com. But when we went live with John Glazer and then Mark Gillespie joined us afterwards, he had one of these that he was testing that they'd sent him as well.
Yeah. Mine's still in the wrapper.
After he had him on the show with us, we actually got an email from him and they said, hey, we enjoyed watching you with Mark Gillespie. Would you guys like to take a look at our glasses as well? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
So they sent 2 for me and Bart and 2 for a giveaway. So we'll be doing that. We'll probably shoot a show, maybe Jameson's Blender's Dog.
There you go.
Tomorrow.
We do a little opener before we dive deep into the peat. You got to get that first show out of the way. First show's a little rough sometimes.
I really am pretty impressed with this glass so far. It's pretty. It really photographs well, but they've like notched the bottom, if you can see it, which I didn't know what it was for. And I was showing this to my wife and she said, well, so you can put your finger in there and hold it like that.
What if you got a big sausage finger?
This big sausage finger probably isn't going to work.
Right. Mine's a little bit, you know what? Mine doesn't fit quite that way, but I found out my thumb, you can switch it around and you put your thumb in there and it holds much better because my front finger won't come in. My front finger, that's what everybody calls it, their front finger.
Like a front butt.
My front finger. What the heck was that? Somebody be like, yeah, which one's your front finger? Idiot. Dummy. Oh, man. My front finger. But yeah.
It's actually a glass that was developed for Irish whiskey. 2 off is what it looks like, but it's pronounced 2 off. So I've got my Ardbeg grooves in that glass. And our coins are just a little bit small for it. They almost like sit down in it recessed just a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, it looks hazardous.
All you got to do is press down on one side and the coin rotates up and out it comes.
Okay. Banana fingers. So Whiskey Throttle said banana fingers. So let's see. I haven't rinsed this yet, but I bet you it's still good to use.
I like Tom R. Look at him. He says his bottom is notched from an old rototiller accident. I know Claire, I think, is enjoying the grooves with us. Tom R. has a bottle he's going to open up. Anybody else tasting the grooves with us?
That way everybody's just a little bit jealous.
I grabbed a couple of peats just in case to go with from the first bracket. I've got Lagavulin 8, my Glenlivet Nadura peated, the Lagavulin 12, 2017 edition, and Octomore 6.3.
Wow. See back here, I've got the Kilhoman, which I picked as the winner of the very first 16-bottle Peat March Madness. So that's sitting back there. And I just thought maybe, I've been waiting a long time, but I maybe open up that 18-year-old Smokehead. We'll see. It's out of Canada. So I've been kind of holding on to that one for a while. And then we'll see. I'll go easy, but I may take a touch from the Infinity. It's not really an Infinity bottle. It's more like our Peat shootout bottle.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be adding other stuff to it. So it's not really an Infinity bottle.
Jesse is asking for us to tweet out the list for the Peat Strikes Back, which we will. Fact is, well, we could go over it with you tonight.
He probably wants a tweet though too, which we could do.
And the fact is, I need to go in. I'm gonna do a blog post on our website as well. It's only been about 8 months since I posted anything on there, and do a story about it. And then the first, March Peat Madness leading up to the Peat Strikes Back, and we'll have them on there as well. Cool. Now the thing is, though, we're going to start shooting tomorrow. It's not going to air for a couple weeks. We've still got a few episodes shot.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got to get the 4 brackets and the championship filmed before we even find out what's what. So we can't post anything until we get that done. That's one of the tricks to doing it this way.
Right. And by the way, Tom R., it's good to know my waffling was good for something.
On what?
Tom R. said he had to go get that kill. It was due to the 5-minute waffle. So
I don't know if you saw a lot of the comments. I told people, I said, I'd hate to see Bart with a naked woman in front of him, the way you couldn't decide which whiskey to pick.
Well, it would be 4 naked women.
You were overwhelmed. You were in nirvana.
Right. It's not just one whiskey, my friend.
Overload.
It would be 4 naked women, in which case you would see waffling and maybe even running away.
I'm just jumping in.
I would run. That's too much. You'd see me running away. It would seem great, but then overwhelming. And I would see nothing but failure as a possibility at that point in time.
Let's look at our list though, because I've got it right here too for the Pete Strikes Back. You can come back and replay this. Just remember, we're at about the 10-minute mark. The Pete Strikes Back will be Lagavulin Distillers Edition, probably last year's because you got it for Christmas. We have a Lafroig 18 in there. We substituted something for Tomatin Kuboken, didn't we, or did we leave that in there?
We left it in.
Okay. I know we were talking about how it might be one of the lightest peated ones.
Right.
Lafroig 3 Wood will be in there.
Yep.
Compass Box Flaming Heart. Douglas Lang's Big Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Kilhoman Makir Bay and Loke Gorm.
That's because what the first Kilhoman did.
That's right. Well, we had a lot of people call that we didn't have Makir Bay, that we didn't have either one of those in there.
Does that show up at all there? I already got it displayed for you to take some shots and everything. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Lacheg 10, Ardbeg Corey Vrecken, Ardbeg Anoa, Ardbeg Groove. So three Ardbegs are in there. We know what'll be in Bart's final 4.
Yeah, apparently Ardbeg.
We got Bamor 12, Talisker Distillers Edition, Ben Riach Curiositas, and Kalila. So that will be the Pete Strikes Back. But I'm going to do a blog post as well and go in there and recap some stuff and then and post some information on the Pete Strikes Back.
That's
now,
good.
what we did, we already made one change. We keep refining this each time.
Yeah.
And so this time when Bart poured the samples, he lettered them A through P.
Yes.
Then I'm numbering them 1 through 16 blindly, so that when we're done and we're talking about our A, B, C, D, we'll talk about, my A is bottle 12.
Right.
Will be easier.
Yeah, because it got very confusing. My A was actually C. Huh? But it's in glass D. What?
Yeah.
Huh?
There was a lot that I had to trim out after we got done with the bracket where we were sitting there trying to figure out. And me and you even got confused. It was a good thing we had it written down, because sitting there talking, we got confused a couple of times. I just had to cut it all out because it was confusing to watch.
I noticed that. Yeah. So we decided that I will, because I would just label them 1 through 16. And you never see that list. All you see is a bunch of bottles with 1 through 16 underneath. But we decided, I'll do alpha, and then you'll do the numeric, and then it'll be in there, and that'll work. That'll work a lot better. A lot better. I'm going to pour a little bit more than I normally would for Scott too.
This has the grooves, moving on just a little bit. Great color to it. It's really rich looking.
Let's nose it. Wow. Peat and spice and brine. A heavy brine.
Yeah. And I don't really get any sweetness either. I know it's if you look on the front of the bottle, it says something about peat and sweet or something like that. But on the nose, it's an earthy peat.
I had to sip it right away. It's also very earthy on the palate. Right from the forefront, you just get like a clump of dirt. Like warm earth. I'll have to go back for the middle palate. It's a little bit astringent on the finish. Very peaty, very old world peaty. I mean, it's like it's just like that peat moss is in your mouth.
It's mud.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sweetness in there. Not getting too much on it yet, that first sip, but a lot of peat, a lot of mud, a lot of earth. It's actually peatier, thicker than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's real oily.
Just from the packaging. I mean, what's it say on there? It says something about sweet and round or something.
Yeah, it says from the experimental folk at Ardbeg, produced using our grooviest casks ever. Smoked spices, okay. Combined, I hadn't read this, combined with distant bonfires fading into a mellow haze of apples and smoked peat. I do not get the apples.
Yeah, that's what there is a sweetness in there. I haven't sorted out if it was like a sherry influenced sweetness or just a bourbon cask. Claire says apple and pears after the smoke. Whiskey Throttle says mud, and OJ for Hire says it's mud. WTF?
Well, it's like that. It's like well, I said it's like peat moss in your mouth. It's like a rich earth, like a damp, wet earth. If that makes sense. And thank you again for all the super scotch. Sorry, go ahead. You're in a moment.
I was just saying, vanillas probably feels more bourbon cask than a wine cask. Just initially, right now, anyway, on the second sip. I like it. It's very good. It's very rich. It's a lot more full-bodied, peaty than I was expecting going in.
Yeah, the word viscous kept coming to mind, like thick and viscous. It doesn't look it, but I mean.
Well, you know what I think? I'm going to go with a Glencairn side by side with it and just see if it's doing anything different compared with our new glass here.
Oh, well, let me pour some in. Let me rinse this with a little bit of water just in case.
By the way, I poured myself I kept a 4-ounce bottle of the Grooves and took the bottle over to Bart's. And what did I tell you?
Keep it.
I said this is probably the last 4 ounces I'm ever going to see of it.
You know, I'll share with you what I've learned, though, is that Ardbeg 10. I'm going to be picking up some more Ardbeg 10. I mean, that finished well on my list, even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a brand new bottle of the Oogie. Still got the Dark Cove, CR, and regular. So I mean, this is good though. I like what Ardbeg's doing, but like I said, I'm still blown away with the straight Ardbeg 10, and I'm very curious to see how things work out here. Do I suddenly shift back to the Lafroigs? Am I going triple wood? Am I going with the 18? We'll see.
Tom R's got a good description here. He says, snails and slugs sliding over fresh mud while they share a cigarette.
Ooh, in a pirate ship.
So people are exclamation and marking the mud. What do you think about that? I mean, it's just a real thick earth.
Yeah. No, that's, to me, it's closer. I mean, I see what you're saying with mud. When I was planting the shrubs last season there, and I'm getting down with the spade, and you're getting deeper down where the dirt is still real moist. It's that kind of earthiness, that pungent, wet earth.
It is. It's very good. It's very rich. It's very full. My camera keeps not knowing where to focus here. Maybe I'm gonna have to set it.
All right. The lip of the Irish whiskey glass is a lot more pronounced than the one from my cognac.
Well, even the Glencairn.
Yeah. I mean, it's a heavy.
Yeah. If you look, I mean, it's got the little bit of that tulip shape or the flared.
Right.
Hole.
See what I got going on there.
Yep.
So.
Don't really notice anything different on the nose with the Glencairn and the Tuath.
I think it's all going to be on how you hold it and how it meets the lip. Now, the only thing I haven't liked so much about this glass is the underside of the glass has like a ridge, and it rubs the way I'm holding it. You see how I've got this thing under here? It's rubbing on my bottom finger here. I don't like it. You feel that ridge on the bottom of the glass?
No, maybe you got a rough cut or something.
Well, it's not a rough cut. It's just like concave.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's concave.
Yeah. Feel how there's an edge running all along the triangle there?
Oh, yeah, I feel that. I hadn't noticed it.
I don't like it. That part. I like everything else, but I don't like the underside, so I can't carry it like that.
I did get a little bit better concentration of alcohol on the Glencairn. I got a little bit more of the ABV wise telling me it was a little stronger. J.K. Van Fleet says you can't beat the value of Ardbeg 10.
That's the truth, brother. That is the truth. That was a big learning moment for me, was how well the Ardbegs did. And then the Kilhoman came out of nowhere. So right off the bat, Scott was like, we're putting the Loch Gorm and the Makir Bay in. I'm like, yeah, they demand respect. After what the Kilhoman cast strength did, they demand respect. Let's see, what are in the comments here?
I've been neat here all along too. I think it's 51.6% or something.
I'll check. Yeah, I've been neat. I'm going to try a little drop later. 51.6.
I just got a little bit of cigarette smoke, cigarette ash. I still this not near as much sweetness coming out as I thought there would be.
Mud. Isn't that the name of some pirate?
On a pirate ship on fire.
Yeah. Rough edge is going to bruise the banana finger, is what Tom R said. You're right. It's just, it was odd. I was like, what's rubbing my finger? And it was that little, it's not really, it's just like a bumped up edge on the bottom.
Well, it's like incest, not recessed, but incest, kind of. I don't know what you'd recessed, incest.
I would not say incest at all.
Right.
I would not say incest. Oh, yeah, there we go. Santa Cruz and saying I'm looking good without the hat. Yeah, I didn't grab the hat. We'll see. It's not bad. I don't need to go with the hat all the time. The hair is going to go anyway. I got it. It's funny that I got this one always sitting in here usually. So, but it's not on today.
I got a drop of water in mine. It's almost made the ABV alcohol hang around a little bit longer. The finish is hanging in there.
I'm going to put a little more in, and I'm going to do a little drop of water into this one.
Claire, I just opened the bottle earlier today, and then I just poured this about, well, it's been 30 minutes now.
Yeah, you let it open up a little bit.
Yeah, it was about 9:15 when I poured it. I got some others here, though, too. I'll pull out the, I'll do the Lagavulin 2017 12-year edition next to it here and see what I get. Now, this one, though, too, I think was a little bit cheaper than other committee releases. The Dark Cove, I want to say, was in the 150, 160 range. This is going 120 to 130.
Some people do not like these little limited things that they do.
I'm getting more, just vanilla, just more bourbon cask influence on the sweetness. Vanillas, honey, the light citrus, apples, pears, that sort of thing. Claire even did the same. He tried the grooves next to the Lagavulin 12-year, and the grooves was sweeter. I'm not getting that initially.
Yeah, we don't actually, we've got to travel somewhere, usually to Texas or something, to get a hold of the CR's Food Quig. They don't come into Kansas that I've seen either.
Actually, I just went back to my neat version. I think I like the neat better than the one with the drop of water. Jerry says I'm really getting into the peat. I have transitioned to the peat. I still prefer sherries.
Yeah, you've got a much better palate with the sherry than I do as well. You pick up a lot more of the nuances on that side.
I don't know. We'll see when we do a shootout.
Yeah. I don't find it, well, maybe with the water I get a little bit more ashtray, maybe.
Yeah, I might agree with that.
Not noticing too much difference.
I poured the Lagavulin 12 2017. I'll let it sit for a minute and I'm going to go to it.
All right. Well, any other general questions while we're letting things sit from the Super Scotch gods?
I see Tom R is asking about the Muse, if it'll be available this week. I'm not sure. I don't remember what, or no, it was the first week, end of March, first part of April. It was supposed to be available. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have sherry finishes will usually make most of my whiskeys of the year. Although did I have the Lagavulin 12 2017 in my whiskeys of the year this year? Did we have it done by then? I don't even remember.
I don't think you're talking the limited edition of the Lagavulin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'd gotten to that in time. I think we'd had a sample.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not enough.
All right, I'm going to go into the Lagavulin 12 year 2017 here.
Daniel Willis is already calling it. He says the Dronic wins the sherry shootout.
We need to get a Dronic cask strength is what we need.
Wow. Yeah.
The Lagavulin is a lot lighter on the earth and the peat side. I think there's a lot more lighter sweetness, citrus sweetness with the Lagavulin.
Well, that was one of my questions that came out of the peat shootout, was that I definitely like a stronger peat. And I know we talked about maybe next year we'll do something that's much more on the lighter or the medium range peats or something where we purposely try some of the lighter versions.
I just went to the Ardbeg, and I think Claire's right. I think it does beat the Lagavulin.
Wow. Got some nice leather notes in the finish that just lingers.
It's a little bit richer, and it almost comes off more like the Dark Cove. Maybe it's because of the peat compared to where the Lagavulin 2017 is purely ex-bourbon cask. You get the lighter citrus, the vanillas. With the Ardbeg, you've got the Ardbeg peat coming in. You've got some of the vanilla coming through, the citrus. But that Ardbeg peat, and it's almost making it feel like it's a little sherry influenced as well compared to the Lagavulin. Tom R was just at a whiskey event in Chicago, and he was saying that he talked to the Compass Box ambassador or the rep that was there, and the ambassador was blown away that we had John Glazer on the show because he said John never does things like that.
Sweet.
And maybe he won't now after being on our show too.
Yeah, he was like, "Thank God I only called in." He's like, "Man, if they would have had me on actual video, that would have been terrible."
And Julia just tuned in. Whiskey Throttle did a live show today without Julia, and I think it went okay for Daniel.
All right.
I mean, Julia's much better looking than he is, but
Very judgmental.
And fact is, Whiskey Throttle is asking, will the sherry shootout have a peated sherry? No, it'll be all sherry.
That's right. Keep the peat out of it. This will be a pure sherry experience.
The only problem with that would be you'd only have a couple. I mean, Ardbeg Dark Cove is sherry influenced, but I mean it's so minimal. It's all peat with a sherry kind of coming through on it. You could have Highland Park Valkyrie in there, but I think the peat is so strong. You could have Glendronach peated cask, but the sherry isn't really strong enough in it. I think we're better sticking with just sherry, either exclusively matured sherry or sherry finished scotches in it.
Yes. I wouldn't even mind if you said they all have to be Pedro Jimenez.
Jimenez?
Jimenez? What's the other one that's real nice? The Oloroso.
I love Oloroso.
Yeah, you do. And they are good. Yeah, I'm looking for all those sweet, dark, rich fruits, those red fruits. That's what I like in those sherries.
Daniel says that you said I was better looking than him, too. Whiskey Throttle.
Oh, I got all turned around there.
I'm mixing up what he said, but that's close.
Oh, that's what Bart said about you. True. Yeah, now I'm with you. Yeah.
When I said Julia was better looking than him.
Right.
He's LMAO. What is that? Amontillado? Amontillado? Cask Food Quig. We haven't had any. I know there's a couple out there. Amontillado finished.
So a quick question while we got Scotch Gods in here. Most of you should have received a little thank you photo by now. If you haven't, and you know you sent your address, go ahead and give it a little bit more time. Some of them are going international. And then if you don't get them after a while, let me know. I'll double check my list, make sure I got your address right. And I've still got enough left that.
How many did we have contact us to send them out to?
I wanted to
get everybody's address.
Only got about 40. I'd have to double check the list last because I've had a couple. As the new people come on, I'm asking them too. I think 48. So
if you're watching this as a Patreon supporter and you haven't given us your address to send a thank you card to, send us a message on Patreon and we'll get a little thank you card out we had made up for the 1 million view milestone.
Yep. You can do Patreon message if you want. If you want to just do Bart at Scotch Test Dummies, that's the email. You can do that too.
Look at John Post. You see what he said?
Yep, got the card in the fridge. Woo! Right next to the kids' report card.
Send us a picture of that.
Yeah, that's good. Unless one of them kids has got like a D in home ec.
Yeah. Yeah. Cover up your kids' names.
Yeah, we don't want that out there. Someone will be like, what? No, but here's the deal. This is also a precursor, as you guys know, if you've been watching the messages, for Christmas time. We're going to redo funny little photo card collage. Maybe it'll have a theme. It might morph from year to year, but it should always be funny and dumb. Dumb and funny.
Well, it'll be similar to kind of the style of the card that we just sent out, or that we're sending out. Yeah, with a Christmas theme going. So.
Yep, and we'll do different things, and it'd be nice if anybody ever wants to send a Christmas card to us. Let us know if you want it on the show or not. Some people may say, "Hey, don't put it on the show." Some may say, "Heck yeah," and we'll feature that. And this is only available to Patreon supporters. So
Tim Dietrich, loved the card. Wife said, "Who the hell are these guys, and why are they sending you a card?"
He's out. You're into the whiskey. That's funny.
Daniel Willis says, since we are all on Patreon here, can we hear what y'all are planning on for the future of the channel? Bourbon Trail, Scotland, etc. Other ideas?
You bet.
Well,
so, give them the short list first. The trip to Kansas City will be our first distillery tour. We got to get that done.
As long as we've got 2 years till we're eligible for retirement. Mm-hmm. We're both working full-time jobs. It's hard to sit out and plan stuff down the road. We're going to try.
Right.
Will the Bourbon Trail be this year? Yeah, we would love to, but we still can't say yes or no on that yet.
Yep. We're hoping. We're going to definitely get to Kansas City, test our equipment, hopefully get an interview there. See how our sound mics, our portable mics work with the camera. And that'll be our first trial run. We're going to try some like Facebook Live stuff that we'll be doing, maybe even on the road. We will have a designated driver. So we're looking for either Whiskey Scout or maybe Cousin Shane or Shakes Pennington.
I don't think Cousin Shane's a good one to have as a designated driver.
Okay. He's a bad driver, or he just can't stay designated.
Yeah, he can't stay designated.
They'll start singing and they start handing him drinks. He's like, oh, somebody else is driving. What? Oh, but that'll be our first dry run. We are going to do that. We had a date planned, and then we couldn't get some of the folks that were going to come with us to come. And Scott and I are talking about, if it's just Scott and I, we'll do it. So we're going to try to make it a big Shakes Pennington, Whiskey Scout, and Cousin Shane jumping in with us. And we just couldn't get the schedules to align. But that'll be our first run. And yeah, I still think, Scott, we need to get a hold of, there's a couple people on the Bourbon Trail that might get us in line with getting in and out on some distillery tours. And if we can get that lined up, that'd be great.
Rob over at Whiskey in the Six just tuned in. We have to have him along for sure, just for his good looks. He'll get us into all kinds of stuff for free, probably.
Yeah, the beard. All right, let me try.
But, that's stuff we'd love to do. That's definitely on our list to try and get done. The Bourbon Trail should happen before Scotland.
Yes.
What scale would that be on? I don't know. It would be a lot easier for us to just run out and maybe post, places we're going to be at, come see us. People have brought up, having a tour bus and scheduling events.
Probably not for our first run out there. We could maybe get to that, but not on our first run.
Right. I think we'd probably put it out, though. Hey, we're going on the Bourbon Trail. Here's where we're going to be at.
Yes.
If you're close by, come see us.
Yep. And then we'll build up. We've never been down there before. We've got to meet some folks there. We're going to virtually meet some folks before we go there that are in the industry, hopefully. But, we'll do all that. But once we hit 150 on Patreon, that triggers that definitely triggers us getting in on the Bourbon Trail. So we'll get down there. And we're getting close. That's been building.
The sweetness is definitely opening up on the grooves right now. And next to the Lagavulin 12 2017, it's almost coming off more sherry influence and a little bit darker with the citrus and the sweet notes.
I poured some Kilhoman next to it. Wow.
Outside of we've got the Pete Strikes Back coming up. We'll take the champion, or kind of the 8 best bottles from that round. We're gonna pair them up against the 8 best bottles from March Pete Madness, and we'll make a third bracket called.
Well, it's been up in the air, but the best one was Make America Pete Again.
Peated. Yeah, Make America Peated again.
So I think it was just Make America Pete again.
I like that one. That was Eric. Eric Waite came up.
Sniper. The sniper. And it'll be the Elite Eight against the Elite Eight.
So we've got that. We'll do as soon as that's done in May we're going to be teaming up or not. Edmonton Scotch Club does an annual charity drive to raise money for local food banks.
Right.
They asked us to kind of help them out this year and help get the word out. Kind of do maybe just a live stream or something, looking for donations or people can donate to your local food banks. You just send us a picture of your receipt or your your screenshot of whatever you donated to your local food bank, and we'll go from there and see, and we'll probably try to see if some other whiskey tubers want to help us out on that as well.
Yep, and all our super chats that come in on that live donation show will cowbell in for our local food bank.
Right.
So all the cowbell ringing will be for the local food bank on that show.
While I'm thinking about it, a really good shout out and thank you to all of you guys. The Patreon funds have really, really been helping us out. We had the Pete Strikes Back is coming up. We had to go buy 8 bottles or so, and it all came from our Patreon funds. Some of them are bottles we've had in the past. And some, you guys out there buying these peated, some of these scotches are getting pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So, but we've picked up a few bottles lately, even a couple when we did Compass Box Phenomenology and No Name, we used our Patreon funds on those. You guys are really helping us.
Yep.
Shore up a lot of the stuff we probably wouldn't do. We'd be like, no, we don't have the money to do that right now.
Oh, yeah. If we had to buy all these bottles, my wife would have been like, you're going to do another Pete shootout? No. So, and then, of course, in July, what was it? July 7th, right? July 7th.
That's what we're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not nailed not nailed in stone. That's not it. But
chiseled.
Yeah. It's not chiseled in stone yet, but that'll be, or right around there, the 12 hours of Boom, 12 shows in a row, 12 hours straight, and we will end again out at the fire pit.
One thing we will do differently with that this year, we're going to reach out to a lot of the, of course, we're growing. Some of our contacts are growing. Last year, during each hour, we gave away coins and our glasses during each show. And then a couple of the guests had their own, giveaways that they did. We're going to reach out to some of the people that we've had on, Highland Park, Glenfiddich, McCarthy's, Tomatin, other people, and say, give us some loot here.
Some swag.
Give us some swag, and we'll push it out, and, you get your name out there and stuff. So we'll see what we'll get. And hopefully we get some pretty good stuff, more than, I love our coins too, but, you get a Highland Park decanter.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, we don't have anything in yet. That's just a guess.
Yeah. Daniel Willis says, thanks for the content. It's hard work, I'm sure. We are seeing, let's go back to when we first started, Bart, and our goal. Well, we first started, and I thought we would do a review every once in a while. And you said, no, we got to do one a week. Well, and when we first started, I think it was about one a month or so we put up the first 2 or 3 months.
Right.
And then you said, no, we need to do one a week. And I was like, I don't know if we can do that. We can try it. Then we started with bourbons, and we said, let's do bourbons on Wednesdays, world whiskeys on Saturdays. And I said, you're crazy. There's no way we can do that.
Right.
Yeah, so we started doing that. Then last year, at the end of 2016, we started with the live streams on Sundays.
That was your idea, and that was brilliant.
Yeah. And now we started just a couple months ago, when we get together on Mondays and we shoot 3 or 4 reviews. Well, we got a lot of bottles sitting around here. Let's throw up another quick. impromptu review.
Yep.
Ideally, they last about 20 to 30 minutes. Bart likes to stretch them out a little bit.
Well, I get excited. and really, we're in a real good. And then you came up with the quick hitters where we stand alone, where we do a solo thing, and out of that has come your how to build the shelf in the background back there, how to dip your glass. I saw that.
That shelf video is doing pretty good. That thing's about 1,200 views.
Oh yeah, anything where you're building stuff, huge.
I should have had my tool belt on. I thought later after I shot it, I should have had a whole bunch of tools and stuff around.
Tools, a little bit of crack showing.
Yeah. Butt crack, not
crack. No, right. Yeah, butt crack. You'd be up to 3,000 views by now.
You know, though, like Whiskey Throttle points out about all the stuff we're doing, how much time it's taking. It's hard. He says we should thank you and your wives and your families for their patience.
Oh, the wives, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're seeing the rewards, though, too. I mean, we're seeing the gain, you know, and the growth and all that stuff. So it helps fuel it. And when the wives see that as well, it makes it easier.
Well, the journey. I mean, from the get-go, it was all about, the whole show was about having fun, us hanging out, the whiskey, and enjoying the journey.
Right.
So
now, and you know, we've talked about, we both have full-time jobs. We work together. We're both with the Wichita Police Department, for those that don't know it. I've been here for 25 years, Bart 23. In 2 years, we're eligible to retire. Not that we're going to. Well, you've got a couple more. Or no, well, you'll be 50. We're both eligible. Now, whether or not we leave, if we retire, I mean, it depends on what this leads into and how we're doing. We've talked about that and possibilities in retirement with the show. What have we talked? We've talked about maybe this goes daily, you know, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 in the morning or 9 to 10. We do a live stream. We're talking whiskey news. We're talking whiskey. We're tasting whiskey. We're having people on the show. Surely by then we're traveling. You know, we're hitting whiskey shows. We're getting invited to whiskey events.
Right. Hopefully we're flying over to Scotland more than just once. So, Tom R., if you get a ticket, you're paying it, brother.
Yeah, they're electronic. We can't do anything about them.
That's right. Actually, yeah, that's all out of the hands now, man. Once
our chief, we can get fired now. Our chief made that against policy.
Yep. It's all electronic anyway. There, we can't even get into it. STD private jet. Yeah.
I think the Ardbeg Grooves is, just to bring you back again a little bit, it's pretty good.
Tasty.
Yeah, as good as that Lagavulin 2017 12-year is when you go side by side with it. Let me take just another sip here real quick.
Yeah, Tom R. wants to know if he can pay in Scotch. We've been given some whiskey tasting classes to our coworkers, so I guess it would depend on who you got. You pull out Ardbeg Grooves, they'd be like, "Ooh, no wonder you're in a hurry. You're heading home to drink safely."
That's a hard one. I don't know if you'd be able to decide there. Well, you'd settle on the Ardbeg pretty quick, probably, Bart. They're both real good.
Yeah, they're tasty. Yeah,
there's a local, it's kind of a patio furniture store, kind of high end. They sell these wood pellet smokers made by Yoder. They're kind of high dollar. They have a YouTube channel as well, and a chef that comes on and they do different recipes, different grilled meats, stuff like that. We met one of the guys at a whiskey tasting here in Wichita.
Yeah.
They have over 100,000 subscribers. They've actually reached out to us and they want to do a collaboration with a whiskey, either a bourbon or a peated Scotch, and their chef will whip up some recipe with it, and then we'll do a review of it. We go down there, they'll post a review on their channel. and we'll see what happens there. I'm bringing that because Jesse Voisin says we need to have PewDiePie on.
Yeah.
So, and that's part of growth on YouTube is collaborating with other channels. And, you know, we started that, we did that, reaching out with whiskey channels and stuff. Or there's that guy that eats the MREs that you love. You want to have him on.
I want that. That guy opened up a Chinese MRE and I couldn't turn off this channel. I was like, oh man, what kind of dessert do they have in a Chinese MRE?
Was he sitting in a World War I tank?
No, but he does do one thing. He's got like one of those silver like food tins or trays, and he puts the food into the different areas there. They did have egg rolls, by the way. Main dinner was a little egg roll thing. Yeah, and then he opened up there was another show with a Saudi Arabian MRE. I was like, what? And like gold fell out of it. Okay, I made that part up. There was no gold. But
Bart and I, though, we're happy with our growth. Like I said, we've got our jobs. We do this on the side. Everything has been natural. We a couple of years ago, 1 month, we paid $30 to Google for a search engine SEO, search engine optimization kind of push out where, you know, they prioritize your search terms.
Yeah, I don't think the $30 got us anything.
We didn't see any results from it. And what I like to say is I'm proud to say outside of that, we haven't spent a dime on any advertising. All of our growth has been word of mouth. It's been, you know, our Patreon supporters, you know, everybody just helping us out.
So Voisin says he loved the bourbon and chocolate tasting by It's Bourbon Night. So that was kind of neat.
Oh, bourbon and chocolate tasting. Now I see too, they've got, they're doing a live stream coming up with the bottle of Wow B517 against the C917 bottling. So the last two batches from last year.
We've got one of the brand new ones headed our way.
You might have. I've already got mine. I bought 2 of them.
Whatever. I was on the phone.
Yeah, you didn't even know if you'd had that one or not.
True. I got a lot of whiskey. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know. And he goes, I think it's new. I'm like, get it.
I knew right away. He sent me a picture. I go, we have not had that one.
Bam. There you go.
That is weird with Elijah Craig and the barrel proof. So last year they had batch A117, which means A means it's the first batch. The 1 means January, and then 2017. We never saw batch A here last year in Wichita. Batch B517, the second batch made in May, was all over Wichita. It was in every store. I picked up several bottles and I quit buying it because I'm like, well, it's all over the place. They must have had a plethora of it.
Right.
And then batch C917, so the third batch made in September, came out and we never saw it here. It never showed up. It's weird. I don't know why we got batch B but didn't get A or C.
Maybe we got so much B that nobody ordered the C.
I don't know.
Because I've seen that. That's what they'll do. If they get so much and then they can't move it, they're like, nah, I don't need that next batch.
Anyway, Whiskey Scout, he's got his own channel now. Robert's his name. He was running around. He sent us a picture last night. He was in somewhere in Oklahoma. I won't tell where because OJ for Hire is on here. He's going to be running out and hitting all the liquor stores up in that area. Actually, no, he was down by Ponca City is where it was at. And OJ for Hire is going to be like, God dang, I wanted to run over there.
Yep.
They had batch C917 on the shelf for $51.
Yeah, it was a good price.
He picked up all 3 bottles that they had, 1 for him and then 2 for us. So I've already paid him though. So I don't know where you're going to get your bottle at.
He owed me $100.
Well, I don't know where you're going to get your bottle of C917 at.
That's what I'm telling you. He owed me like 2 weeks ago, so I was ahead of you. I know paying him. Maybe this batch is not good.
No, it's right up there too. And someone commented, I put that out on Instagram. And batch C even won. It was Louisiana or New Orleans Whiskey Fest this year. Batch C did. And that's why Chad and Sarah are putting batch C up against batch B, because batch B was Whiskey Advocates Whiskey of the Year.
Right.
They're all good.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They've got it figured out. For sure.
Oh, Daniel Willis is in Oklahoma City. He finds it for $40-ish for the barrel proof. That's outstanding. That's OJ gets it for $43, so he's laughing out loud. $51 is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's usually around 65, 70 over here.
Yeah, and up to 100.
I don't buy it at that price.
Right. But no, batch B showed up. It was $60 to $65 ever. I think the first bottle that we ever bought was the 69.7%. And that was before we labeled it the bottle of wow, and then it took off because of us.
Yeah, it was all us.
It was all us.
Bing.
I think that bottle I got for $51 at our store.
Right.
$51 or $53. That was the Dummies price, though. On the shelf, it would have been a little bit higher. But even, like I say, the cheapest I've seen probably is $65 on the shelf for one.
The only reason we get a better price because we buy a lot. So
occasionally.
That sounded highfalutin. The dummy price.
Buying a lot?
No, that's why because we come in and they're like,
when you're doing 4 shows a week, you're going to buy a lot of whiskey.
Yes, that's why we get a dummy price. They're like, they're buying in volume. Let's make sure they buy here.
That's what I call it too, the dummy price. I'm talking to people, I'm like, well, there's a couple stores that know us, so we get the dummy price.
Right. Because we come in and walk out with boxes. They'll be like, how much did that guy buy? I had a lady make a comment once because I was throwing bottles up there, and she said, you got a party? Is there a party going on? I thought she was going to jump in the back of the truck. So I'm like, there's always a party going on.
Jesse Voisin is trying. He doesn't have the grooves yet, but he did kill Homan family tonight. Single cask against Makir Bay and the Seneg. And the single cask won the best of those 3. We don't have the Seneg.
Wow.
We do have our next scheduled live show with a guest is going to be April 1st. A while back, we had Ben on Single Malt Alliance, and we talked about the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. Ben has since gotten on full-time with the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, and he wanted to do another show. He sent us a new release that's coming out like April 3rd or April 4th, and we'll take a look at that. And then he sent a rum as well. Now, I will tell you, I cracked the rum the other night, and it was very impressive.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It was almost more like, and I'm not big on rums, and we've tried a couple. They're usually too sweet for me. This one was more like a whiskey with just like some rum notes to it. Yeah.
Well, you've got a couple. I think I'm looking at them. Am I looking at them back there? Or are they down low? Because you've got a couple good rums that.
Over there. Oh, the rums are they're over there too on my new shelves.
Boom.
My new shelves hold a lot of whiskey. I'm already thinking I made them too short, though, when I was talking about in the video how you can expand them pretty easily. I already need to expand.
Yeah, where are you going to go? What are you going to
do? I have to. My next step would be to take these down here. And all I got to do is replace my 5-foot shelves over there by 8-footers and put up one more support. And I'd have 4 racks coming over all the way over to here that I'd be able to triple stack bottles on. Because like these, I've only got single stack. I don't trust these floating shelves here.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'd go from 3 shelves of single stacked to 4 shelves of triple stacked bottles on there.
See, I've got a wall of games and I've got a wall of whiskey. And now you're seeing you got your nice wall of whiskey.
Yeah.
All we need is a little bit of games in your background. By the way, look over my shoulder. What is that in the background back there?
Picture of the flag.
That's a new manga shirt on the chair.
Oh, you got some whiskey bottles back there in the background too.
Yep. See, you're missing the main thing right there.
Is that a Cavalon?
Yeah, there's a Cavalon back there.
Dalmore.
Yeah, you're overlooking the little ninja fella. And it's a bright shirt. It's more orangish. That one's for Claire.
Whiskey in the Six is asking what the quote says.
Claire says, I knew he was going to say something. He says, ugliest shirts I've ever seen.
I just ignore him. Just ignore him, Claire. It's best.
Manga shamanga. I like the way Whiskey Throttle talks right there. That's like a rhyme right there. I might steal that. Whiskey Throttle, manga shamanga. I got them for free. So I wish. I'm actually paying a little something for them. They're coming back, baby. I thought Scott was messing with me the other night. He said a coworker wanted to know where I got them from. I'm like, He's like, no, really? Where'd you get them?
Yeah, he was really asking.
See, there you go. Shirts a cry for help. Hell, I've been crying for help for a lot longer before the shirts came around.
Because I'm not even saying anything, Bart.
Yep, you're staying out of it. You know that, though. Yeah, if the shirt's the first sign of a cry for help, you ain't been watching. Look when I was putting on hats. It's what it is.
Look when he was putting on to hats.
To hats. Yeah, let's be honest. If it's anything, it's me trying to get attention. Let's just call it what it is. It's a bright orange shirt with a sword cartoon idiot on it. Yeah, that's what's going on.
Let's talk about, we are starting to see, more people reaching out to us, just like with the glasses, whiskeys and stuff. I think we're starting to gain some traction there. Some smaller distilleries, especially. What was the new one you got, Bart?
Oh, yeah, 2-Bar.
Z-Bar. Was it 2-Bar?
It's 2-Bar because that was their dad or great grandpa's brand in Texas, but now they've got a whiskey distillery in Seattle.
So that's right. Yeah. Washington, 2-Bar sent us. They actually reached out to us. There's another company that's messaged us on YouTube, but the messaging system is so messed up on YouTube, they haven't seen my reply yet.
Yeah.
And then we have actually a small appliance company reached out to us and said, hey, we make all these bar refrigerators and ice makers and stuff. Would you guys like to collaborate with us?
Yeah. And I said, I don't think we need a fridge, but their ice maker looked cool because it actually makes, I have an ice maker that I'll pull out when we have parties, but they said their ice maker makes clear ice.
Crystal clear ice.
Crystal.
So we said the only thing we really see is your crystal clear ice maker. And they said, we'll send you one to take a look at.
Although I will say Scott then got real funny, was like, hey, maybe when I'm at my desk, I need a big fridge on top of it.
Yeah, and put a fridge right up here. We take a look at that, baby. I'd be like, get me a bottle of water, Bart.
Yeah, I like to chill my here. Yeah, I like to chill my water in this fridge right here. No, it was funny. It was actually a pretty cool fridge, but it was more for wine, and they did have sodas and waters that obviously if you're doing mixed drinks and stuff, but the ice deal looked cool. So
yeah, we've got an idea for a little infomercial. Maybe we'll shoot for it. We'll see. Well, yeah. And we told them though, I said, we'll take a look at it. If it's not good, if we're not happy with it,
send it back.
We're not going to review it. And they said, well, we'll send you a return receipt if you guys don't like it, if you don't have anything good to say.
And they said we got to see how much it is, but they were going to have a discount for all the dummy fans. So it was
yeah.
So because that would be the main kicker, but I've got one. So
that's something I never thought about though. Just like all the glasses, now small appliances for bars that we're kind of branching into. And really the way I look at it is, if you're not interested in it, don't watch the review of it. But if we can help people with purchasing stuff for their bar and make their bar better, I'm all for it.
Well, yeah, I told you I had an ice maker that looked very similar. So, I mean, that's why I said, bam, you take this one back and have it over at when you build your bar. But they're handy because you pour we'll test theirs out, but it looks like it's the same operation. You pour like a jug of water in it, and then it takes about 50 minutes and starts kicking out cubes. And even if they melt, it just keeps kicking out cubes. So when you got a party going on, like I'll have big board game things over here. I know you wanted to hear that, Claire. Then I'll have that baby kicking, man. Kicking.
I think that's a neat aspect I hadn't thought of. Like I say from the first, is kind of more bar accessories and stuff to make people's bars better.
Right. Hey. Yeah. So, but we'll see how it runs. Like I said, I've got mine and it works great, but the cubes aren't clear, so I never use it with it. I mean, it's nothing fancy for whiskey, but this one with perfectly clear cubes sounded actually whiskey-esque.
Claire Velvet Elvis'd you on the big board game convention talk and need an ice maker.
So you won't see it though. We talked about we'll do a legit review of the ice maker, and then at the end of it, I think we'll have like an extra little deal where we'll be like over the top, like, you know what I need.
We won't put any spoilers on that.
Sorry, no spoilers. There'll be funniness at the end.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good point. Good point. You got to stay tuned. All right. So how about from you guys, from the Super Scotch Gods? Not saying we can do everything that's suggested, but is there anything else that, great ideas come when we collaborate even with you guys? Anything. What do we got? Cocktail chemistry is someone I want to do a live with. Just any ideas? Oh, looks like Whiskey Throttle with the shirt on. All right.
Hey, Tom R., you want to be on the show? What's your phone number? We'll call you up. Put you on speakerphone.
Oh, you can email it if you want. Send it to Scott.
You got my email. Yeah, shoot me an email.
Yeah, send it to Scott, Scotch Test Dummies. We'll bring you on. That's a good one. Blind bottle for Bart is a rum. Yeah, that'd be neat. Actually, I've got to do some blinds for Scott. I think I've got one that will surprise him. Go ice fishing. It's clear. He says no. Tom R says no. Jesse Voisin, what was our Elite Eight from the first round? I'm going to have to look at our sheets.
Yeah, my top four, I had Ardbeg Dark Cove.
Oh, you're
Lagavulin 12, 2017, Glenlivet Nadura, and Lagavulin, no.
Well, see, that's what we got to figure out though, because we had six bottles because we overlapped on two.
Well, I've got all of our results here, and we marked some of our number twos. So it would probably be look at it and just figure out what was most voted or what. I've got my top. We had six between your top four and my top four. Then we've got to kind of narrow down to the top two after that we both, maybe it's our number twos that we both picked.
Right. Yeah. We each need to pick one other number two.
I about threw these away the other day. Good thing I didn't.
Good call. Although we could have just looked at
the kill home and cast strength would be in there. So you'd have Ardbeg 10, Ardbeg Ugidal, Lagavulin 12, that's your
no. You'd have the six winners or the six finals, but you're right. We got to go grab whatever the number.
That's too many Ardbegs in there, though. We can't have all those Ardbegs in the final eight. We got to get rid of either Ardbeg 10 or Ardbeg Ugidal.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's our final six, which would be what's in there. So you had
too many Ardbegs. We can't have that many We're gonna have to replace one of the. You choose Ardbeg 10 or Ardbeg Ugidal.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. The key is we each got to find out which one. We each got to have like a number two that goes in. Sneak preview of the new shirts. You know what? I've only seen one. I've got to actually. We've got to. Well,
we got him working on a couple.
We've got a. I can say we've got one that focuses on rye whiskey. How about that? And another one that brings in the. It's going to bring in the helmet. We're going to take the helmet and make it big. So.
I gave him an idea for certified Scotch God, and then it would have like a stamp of approval on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then a couple of our designs will just get revamped a little bit. The Scotch Test Dummies, Glencairn, Love the Peat. Those are two big sellers. They'll probably stay. They'll just be revamped.
Yeah.
How about Santa Cruzin? Santa Cruzin, you want to make a phone call? We'll make a phone call to you if you want to, Chris, if you want to come on the show.
Yeah, bring somebody that had been on.
Email me the number.
I got a roll here in a bit.
Oh, yeah, it's 10:10. We've been at it an hour and 10 minutes.
We got time, though. We got some time.
Santa Cruzin, if you want to, I'll call you up. Shoot me an email, scotchtestdummies@gmail.com.
That's it. No, I have not tried the bullet cast strength. Have you, Scott?
The bullet? No.
Have you seen it?
Yes, it's in town. There's just been too much on our list, really, and stuff that we've had. It's getting. I mean, you know, we talked about if we went Monday through Friday doing a daily show, we still would not be able to keep up with whiskeys that come out. It's amazing. There's no way when we got started, I thought that would be the case.
Nope. We thought we might exhaust all whiskey supplies in Kansas by about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No. 4.5 years. And I mean, I can walk into any liquor store and find something we haven't had.
Yep.
Now, keep in mind, 4.5 years, we also talked about, so this October will be our 5th anniversary. We may have some special limited edition stuff coming out for that. So
let's see. Santa Cruz, are you guys ever going to sell the posters you have in your set on the back of the set? You know, we might put them up. If we ever get new posters coming in, we might end up with something that replaces and then just sell the. Well,
not even that, but we had talked about maybe just having a small order and selling them. I mean, maybe we have 5 or 6 people that are interested in the set.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that might be an option. Like you said, if there's a set at some point in time.
You know what we could do maybe at the 12 Hours of Boom this year is push a pre-sale for those where, and you know, if we had people pay for them up front, we would know how many to order.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, I mean, if we push it out there and said, if you want last year's posters, they're X amount of dollars, pre-order them. And then we know, so that way we don't order 100 of them and we only sell 12.
Got it. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, they can be pretty pricey depending on how many you order.
Are you getting each other anniversary gifts? Not usually. Every once in a while we surprise the other one, but that's usually impromptu. It's not like preordained. I'm horrible with like, oh, it's your get your coworker card day. It's office professional day. Horrible.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't even get each other presents for I mean, you surprised me once. I mean, I've surprised you, not necessarily for birthday or Christmas, but like with the Kalila lamp.
It's better that way.
Yeah, yeah. But even like Christmas every year, we don't get each other presents or gifts.
You didn't know the hats were coming. The whole helmet. Yeah, to hats. The whole helmet thing started because I just had the idea of doing something with that Spartan helmet. And I had just enough made for cousin Shane, Shakes Pennington, the Whiskey Scout, Scott, myself. So, well,
Whiskey Throttle is asking
one other person.
Whiskey Throttle is asking which helmet you're using. You were talking about a special shirt coming.
It's our
we've looked at designs for both. We've talked about designs for both, and they're different. The Spartan helmet and then what we call kind of the new Android dummy head.
Right. Well, they both came out of the same design development time.
Well, and Rob just commented he actually wants a Spartan helmet, a Spartan helmet painted and with our logo on it.
Wow.
I told him we'd sell like 3 of them. He'd buy one, and me and you would both buy one.
Right.
Recently we reached out to Angel Share Glass to see if we can get our own dropper set like these, which we love and we use all the time.
Right.
But we reached out to say, hey, can we get that with our logo on it? We don't know if we'll be able to do that. We're still waiting for a reply there. We're working with a glass company. I won't say which one. We might shop around, but a glass company that has 6 or 8 different glasses designs where they would have our logo and you could order basically any glass you wanted with our logo on it.
Yeah, that way, you want a rocks glass, you got it. You want a cognac glass, you got it. So,
well, they had a couple of different rocks glasses. They had a couple of different kind of sniffer, tulip shaped glass. I don't think they had any cognac glasses. But shots glasses, rocks glasses, kind of the tulip bowl shaped glasses, stuff like that. So,
well, that's probably about it, brother. Yeah, Jesse Boyson says he's got to design a "Make America Pete Again" poster, or we got to design one. That would be cool.
That one, we'll have to talk to our graphics designer.
Well, we'd have to, obviously it's got to look political. I mean, not any party, but it's just got to look like, hey, we're trying to get Pete to be.
I think it's almost a rip off of a certain, campaign poster.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Make America Pete it again.
Yeah, that'd be my only question is it's just going to be some lark on using Pete, and there'll be somebody that'll be like, I don't like the look of the poster. We'll be like, it's about the Pete, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with the candidate. We'll probably get in trouble from that person.
And probably get some red hats, with MAPA.
Oh my God. No, you'd get somebody to get punched wearing one of our Pete hats, and they'd be like, I'm blaming the dummies. I'm blaming the dummies.
I think Rob is taking off. Have a good one, Rob. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep,
and food club, maybe.
I think I better go too. I'm getting tired. I got up early today. Woo.
Also, anybody that's tuning in, and we haven't said anything, getting weird with the beard, Bubba and the beard, Lloyd, his house burnt down. A lot of people have been talking this week, kind of a certain fundraiser. If you haven't heard, he lost everything except for what he had in his truck. And jokingly, I've just said, amazingly, he kept all of his underwear in his truck for some reason. So that's all he's got. That's not the case. I just made that up. But he did lose his house and everything. Anybody that's watching, if you haven't heard, we're just telling people, if you had $5, just donate to lfink27@gmail.com on PayPal. And he's real humble. He's real honest. He didn't want help. He didn't ask for this, anything like that. The whiskey tubers kind of took it upon themselves. And I know you guys are already, a lot of you guys are supporting other whiskey tubers as well. But if you have a chance, if you haven't, lfink, LFINK27@gmail.com. If you can throw him $5 or $10 his way, it's going to help him.
Santa Cruz and put it up in the link.
Oh, there you go.
Up in a message. Frank's out of here.
Night, Frank. There you go. What about a Talisker Stormy Daniels expression?
Yeah.
I can see a whole presidential vibe though, like, you know, dun 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 dun, dun, and we come walking in, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're dressed up like Hillary. I'm dressed up like Trump.
Oh God, don't even go down the road. We'll make so many people mad. We just drink whiskey.
So we've always said no politics, no religion.
That's right. No politics, no religion. We're just drinking whiskey and enjoying the hell out of it, having a good time. That's my only fear. I love the Make America Pete Again because it just works well with the slogan and it's funny. That was my only fear, is that somebody will get pissed off or something. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, whatever.
Hey, any publicity is good publicity.
There you go. That's right. Yeah. I think Frank, when he was in here, said, or somebody, I missed it. Somebody said you're more likely to get sued by Lucas than you are Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do the rip-off of the Pete Strikes Again, and boom, we're getting. But that's Disney now, though. I think Disney's got that. Yeah, Voisin says that's how we get to 50K subs. All right, man, let's wrap it up.
Well, thanks to everybody that tuned in. And again, you guys are our Patreon supporters. You guys have been a big help. I don't think we can thank you enough. You've really helped keep the show going in ways that things that we wouldn't have been able to do.
Right. No, that's true.
Well, not things that we wouldn't have been able to do, but it would have been a lot harder for us to do.
I don't think we would have done this back-to-back shootout, because right away you're like, we were both like, hey, we're going to need X amount of money to pull off this next shootout. And usually we're doing 1 16-bottle shootout or 2 a year is what we wanted to do. So already we're looking at doing 3.
Yeah.
But they're expensive to get on. We had some of the bottles, but we didn't have all of them. So,
well, we probably spent $600.
Right.
At least on bottles we didn't have. And there's no way we would have done that.
Nope.
If you guys weren't helping us out.
Nope. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. We'll keep doing these. We try to give back by just the show and getting to know you guys too, but we know we got to do these as well. So it's good talking to you guys.
Yep.
So, all right. See you guys. See Van Fleet in the 3rd. Scotch It. You Scotch guys.
Sláinte, dummies.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say something there or not. So
I was waiting.
Yeah, I saw you.